Huffy, America's first choice.
Miss my Huffy.
Welcome to the Designated Drinkers Podcast. Sit back and enjoy the ride. It's so good I want to come.
I'm a little fat girl.
You gotta fuck with the levels after you get them right.
I know, right? I fuck with the levels,
God
and
damn it.
I feel like a piece of shit. It's been like a minute since we recorded. Technically, it's been like a month.
Yeah, it's because you have to throw fucking parties like a lame-o.
I know, right? Fucking tell me about it.
I really want a beer, but I drank way too much Wednesday night,
you want
and
a beer?
I'm
'Cause
still recovering.
I'm about to go grab myself a beer.
Why did you drink on Wednesday night?
I had nothing else to do.
Who drinks on a Wednesday night?
Hey, we're gonna invite your
Me?
friend Ben to the podcast.
My friend Ben,
Yeah.
Well, you're a raging alcoholic, Angela.
that's where I drank way too much rum.
Oh. Hey, Tom. I don't know if you remember how to do a podcast, but can you shut the fuck up when we're
Can
talking?
you shut the fuck up? Just shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah. Shut your face.
No, just shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth.
Shut your face.
You sound really stupid right now.
You sound so stupid right now.
Is it Pan? Pan. Like P-A-N.
Peter D.
No, I got this.
Pam.
It's
Pam.
Panama.
Pam.
P-A-M-N. Pam.
It might be my microphone because everyone was yelling at it. We might have blown it.
It might be your face. Dude,
I don't blow.
I didn't even think about that. Were you using this for the fucking drunken karaoke?
We were using this, but I think we might have blown this mic. This one right here. I'm gonna change it real quick. You guys keep vamping.
Do you want to pause the podcast and then change it, or
Just talk.
Why?
okay?
Yeah, just talk.
That was funny.
Carlo just punched himself.
That was
pretty
funny.
great. I wish he'd do it more often.
Wow.
Good conversation, guys.
So he blew the mic. That's pretty cool.
I have a really embarrassing story.
Yeah, go for
Ooh,
it.
I like this.
All right. Well, let me start off.
You got to talk into the mic.
I will.
He's taking a sip of his water.
He's taking Ashley's place today.
Okay. Has anybody ever had their card declined?
Yeah,
yes.
it's like the worst
Do you know
feeling
how
in the world. Man.
embarrassing
No.
it is?
Yes, definitely.
No.
Well, I had my card declined today. But what made it really embarrassing?
What's that?
Buying rubbers?
No. That'd be embarrassing.
I don't think it'd be embarrassing
But
at all.
like,
You want a beer?
sure. I wouldn't even mind if my card was declined, like if I was at Walmart, because I'm like, I'm a dime a dozen here.
You were
They're
at a
used
dollar
to that.
store.
Right.
Dollar store, weren't you?
No. No, that'd still be okay.
Goodwill?
No. Undisclosing where I'm about to have my new job.
Oh.
I went to go buy a pair of work shoes from my job that I'm starting tomorrow, and I was surrounded by my new manager and all of my new coworkers when my card was declined.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, and everybody just kind of like looked at me like, why don't you try it again? I was like, okay.
They were like, man, you really need this job, don't you?
And it got declined again, and I look up and nobody was around. Like, everybody just like scattered like roaches. I think because they knew how embarrassing it is. So like, we can't look at this guy.
I can honestly say I've never had that happen before.
You've never had your card declined?
No.
You said you did.
No, I said that I haven't.
No, he said he didn't. We said we have.
Oh, okay. Well, lucky you. It sucks.
I've had it where the machine isn't working. Like they're having
Like
an
the
issue with
ATM?
the machine. No, like when you go to swipe your card at the register and their machine is like fucked up.
yeah, the machine's not
And
working,
then-
Tom.
and then you
That's
grab-
what it is.
And then you like put the fucking thing in and then it reads it.
No, you know it's bad when it says it only accepts a certain amount of money.
Cheers.
Only accepts a certain amount of money.
Like, it only gets cleared for a certain amount.
Right, like they won't allow you to purchase anything under $5.
Right.
Under $10? You never been?
No.
Man, shut the fuck up.
Well, it's
There's
not that
no way.
it's not that I'm broke. My check didn't clear, and it's not gonna clear
Yeah,
until
man.
fucking Tuesday now.
We've all heard that
Because
story.
Veterans Day is on Monday.
We totally believe you.
I just put it in the bank today. I have
Yeah,
the
man.
receipt in my car.
Yeah,
You don't have
totally.
direct deposit?
Wait,
I have a new job. I got my last check.
but
Paper.
literally nobody gets off for Veterans Day.
I'm
The
off.
bank does.
I'm off on Veterans Day.
Banks are closed on Veterans Day.
Government jobs do.
That's right, man.
You know who doesn't get off on Veterans Day?
Everybody else.
Veterans don't get off on Veterans
Veterans
Day.
don't. I usually take it off though. Not gonna lie.
Are you taking it off this year?
He doesn't
I
work
don't
Mondays.
work Sundays. I don't work Sundays or Mondays, and actually, Veterans Day is tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow? I thought it was on Monday.
It's always
No,
November 11th.
They
Oh,
what
no
they
kidding.
do what they do is they cross through over to the
Well, I guess
what
the bank would
up,
be closed
girl,
anyway.
with your hair down? No, what they do is they're giving you the Monday off as a long weekend essentially.
Oh,
Yeah, it's always November 11th.
So like if Christmas was to fall on a Saturday,
they give you Monday.
they'd give you
off.
Monday off.
Yeah.
What's up? Your food's upstairs in the fridge, in the microwave. It's orange chicken and fried rice.
Hi, Ashley.
Hey.
How's it going?
Oh. Hey.
Speaking of which,
Oh.
let's just do a formal.
Congratulations!
Awkward turkey.
Yep, happy happy new job, lady. I like
Yeah.
that.
Congratulations.
Hallelujah.
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 love that.
Praise the Lord. I'm a professional and I can quit my day job.
Yay.
Ashley, you have hair?
I do.
Look at her.
My ponytail broke, so I had to rock my
I was like, look at her. She got a new job. I literally
Hair.
rock my
hairstyle.
blowout today.
hold on. I've seen your hair down twice. Once when you were getting married, and now.
It looks good. It's just how it
Yeah,
looks
it does. Yeah.
You need to treat yourself. Dave.
Angela, wouldn't that be
Treat
4
yourself.
times?
What?
You've seen her hair down 4 times.
When she got married and now? I don't get it.
Yeah, because your eyes move back and forth, so you see it
Not right
twice.
now. Oh,
That was fucking gay. That was so bad. That was the worst
Stop.
one.
Stop. I need you to
Wow.
pause the podcast. we need to
too
get
much.
2 or 3 beers in them because this is terrible.
Yeah, man.
I can't.
Can't drink.
Right.
Because you're on call.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, it's like 8 o'clock.
Tom's not on the
I'm
not
on call
the podcast
24/7.
sober.
It's not on call every hour.
Who's gonna call you at like 2 in the morning? And be like, hey, my
Somebody
sink broke.
Somebody whose water line breaks and they have water flowing all throughout the
Like,
house.
yeah, I guess that would
Yeah.
make sense.
Tom's such a fucking lightweight that he can't even have one beer because he's gonna get
I'm
drunk.
trying to be a
The problem
fucking
is that
responsible
he
adult.
has one
Jesus
beer and lives to
Christ.
27 and a half.
Yeah. Fuck. I can't help that.
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
What a dick.
What a fucking asshole. She does this thing where she'll
say something
talk
really funny?
really loudly, and then when I put the mic in front of her face, she's like, "Yeah, I didn't say anything."
I can't help that I can't control myself around alcohol.
She's her new name is Shirani.
Do you want to know? Never mind.
What?
Okay.
Just
What?
fucking say it.
Come over here.
So
Well,
yesterday-
say it on
my
his.
God.
Oh,
Talk
I don't
into
wanna
the
be that
mic.
close to Tom. So yesterday I was in the car with my 14-year-old cousin.
Talking to the mic.
And 2 asshole friends. And literally, my cousin is a young child who plays beer pong with us, knows she does not drink alcohol,
She doesn't
but she's
drink beer.
really good at it because she's fucking sober. So we're in the car, and my friend Claire goes, well, my acquaintance Claire goes, we go to Menchie's. We went to Menchie's
Why are you
yesterday without
yelling?
you. Because I forgot you didn't know that we went to Menchie's until I just said it.
You're just bad. You're a bad wife.
It happens. Okay, so anyways,
like shit, by the way.
dude, I smell like garlic, and my hair's been down for like 4 hours. Like,
I know.
feel the end of it.
No,
Just
I don't wanna
sop
fucking
it
I'm
up.
pretty sure there's oil in it. I got my weed. Okay, so anyways, Claire's Menchie's looks disgusting because there's so much chocolate and she goes, I'm a chocoholic. And Faith goes, or my little cousin goes, you're a chocoholic. My cousin's an alcoholic. Same thing. And I'm like, am I an alcoholic? Do I need to like...
Ashley, you drink Jameson straight out of the bottle.
That's just because
Joe,
I'm
cut the name out.
Don't be jealous.
Yeah, I don't think you need to cut the name out.
Claire and Faith? I didn't say my name.
Yeah, she literally just said the name like 8 times. So it's fine.
Okay.
We say Claire all the time.
Yeah.
Cat lady.
I didn't mean
Good
Claire.
luck finding a Faith
I
in
meant the
the entire
innocent one.
United States.
Oh, I know like 3 of them.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know any other Claires though.
Oh, hey, so today, what's today's date? Today is November
10th.
11th? No,
10th.
November 10th, sorry. Today is November 10th. And I actually want to talk to you guys about this. Next year, I want to do something. What's up?
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Happy birthday, United States Marine Corps, November
Ooh,
10th,
shit.
1775. Hoorah.
All right, yeah, okay. All right. Hey, Joe, throw up a cheers right now. Yeah.
And an ad.
And an ad.
Here's the fucking ad!
Hey everybody, just wanted to remind you to give us a like on Facebook at the Designated Drinkers Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at the Designated D, and write us a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening to the podcast. And you can always send us an email at designated.pod@gmail.com. And remember, keep on drinking.
We don't do those anymore. I forget them all the time.
I know you do. That's why I said.
All right. Anyways, so what's happening today is Rooster Teeth does this thing, and I think maybe next year we should give it a try. It's called what the fuck is it called? Oh my god, I just forgot the name right now. I hate when that happens.
Good time.
It's called Extra Life. And Extra Life is this thing that they do. It's essentially a stream online where for 24 hours it's a fundraiser essentially for a charity. And last week was the community event for Extra Life. So a bunch of people like Ohio, Michigan, Chicago, whatever. All these places all these people are fundraising for their respective charities in their state. Mm-hmm. And I think that might be something we want to try, like a stream, you know. Maybe we like put money together or whatever, or maybe get a donation for like a charity and we stream for it. I think that might be cool.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, but
what do you mean by stream?
Play video games, do stupid shit, do a podcast. I don't know.
We could do stupid shit while playing video games and record it with the podcast.
Yeah. The thing about it is they do it for 24 hours long.
For every $20 you give, I'll chug a beer.
It's like a telethon.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. It's like an old telethon that the entire company does. And the week before, they do a community telethon where they put the stream of whatever, like let's say Ohio Buckeyes is the Rooster Teeth community for here, and they did a stream last weekend for a charity. I think it's Rainbow Children's Hospital, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Either way, and the tag for the charity, it's for the kids. That's what they call it.
Oh,
like
nice.
So as they're doing it, you know, they're screaming for the kids, and then they do stupid shit like tase each other and stuff. So yeah. I was just watching one where
can we do it for the whales?
Yes, definitely. You know, we actually probably could.
I'm not doing it for the whales.
Well, maybe not the whales. Well, why not the whales?
How about the baby seals? Because people club them.
No, they go clubbing.
Yeah, people go clubbing.
Dude.
No, the baby seals do.
I'm just saying.
We need to stop clubbing baby seals.
I bet you baby seals are tasty. I'm just saying.
High fat content.
You have a high fat content.
Oh my god. Keep going.
So I think that it'd be a nice goal to start doing a whole lot of advertising for the podcast and eventually get invited to the brand new iHeartRadio Podcast Awards next year.
Yes.
Because they started it this year.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, they just started it this year. The iHeartRadio Podcast Awards, where they have all different genres. They have news, sports, comedy, music, and they just bring in like the top, 50 podcasters in those genres, and then like the Academy votes on them.
Wow. So I guess we would have to define our genre.
We're comedy.
I would think it's comedy.
Are we
talk.
comedy?
Comedy talk.
Not so much anymore because everybody's lame.
Not really. It's you, sober Stan over there.
I can't fucking help it. God damn it.
He's so defensive about it.
I want to drink so goddamn bad. You shut your fucking mouth.
You know what we should do? We should start putting in sound effects.
We already do.
Funny sound effects.
Do you listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
Nick, do you think that like
Joe, Nick doesn't like your sound effects.
Yeah, Joe. Look at that. It sounds so much better after I change the cable.
I think that Nick's idea of funny sound effects is like the Benny Hill music in the background of everything.
No. I don't like Benny Hill.
Right.
Just every
That's
fucking
what
thing.
I did the circus one. Okay.
Yes.
I fucked that one up. My bad.
Yeah, you did.
No, but like fart noises and.
I mean,
like that.
well,
We make our own fart
you have
noises.
to think about the fact that yes, I agree that maybe we can add something, but we're not. First, we're not a radio show,
True.
right? B, sometimes they're stupid, like like oh, that was hilarious. I fucking think that's dumb as fuck when it
With
happens.
the slide whistle?
Yeah, it's like yes, it can be funny if they're added at the right moments.
I think that
but it
what
can also be super gimmicky.
I think that what we need to do is we need to find some funny clips off the internet and convert them into sound clips.
Yeah.
Like
It's called a meme
Like,
generator.
It's so good, I want to come. Something like that.
Oh my God, Joe! We just found a new clip for the beginning of a fucking episode.
Hey,
Well,
anyway.
sometimes you just want to come, you know?
I do like when like you guys like if it's you or Joe, I want to give Joe credit for this, even if it's not him. Where like you'll isolate clips like fucking Darren's. Shut your fucking mouth.
That was all me. Joe now does it
That
because I talked to him about it. But
that shit was funny.
actually,
as
I
hell.
think Tom talked to him about that.
What, the clips?
Adding clips.
Yeah. I like the clips in the beginning.
And make sure you don't have any phones near the cables.
That's why me and Joe had a conversation about it, because like it was just like that one where
Tom kept begging me to put "Watch your profanity," and I was like, "It's not that funny." But he's like, "Just please put it on. Please put it on."
See, I think that's kind of fun. Like having Darren's clip and then watch your profanity. Like, that shit's funny.
It started with, yeah, okay, sure, let's add one or two, but like I felt like it was gonna be like 8 of them.
No, well, what me and Joe talked about is like every once in a while we just switch them out. Like it's kind of like it's kind of like how when I was trying to get you to talk about fucking a tranny, and then
that was a bad clip.
It was, but it was
badly
totally
cut.
worth it. That was the whole point of it. It was this way people know that you said that you wouldn't, but
It was still pretty good though.
yeah.
No,
but,
yeah,
but we edited it so this way,
Hey, moving past this, do you guys?
so you wouldn't.
Okay, so I was listening to. I want to give him credit, even though he doesn't need it. The Tiger Belly podcast.
Oh, Bobby Lee.
Yeah,
Lee.
dude, it's so fucking funny. And his girlfriend talked about. She said something along the lines of, "Do you think that your body is made for where you're living?" And she went on to explain the fact that.
Before I forget.
Oh yeah, that's fine. She went on to explain that because she lives in like California or Austin or where the fuck they are,
California.
her skin's always dry, like always dry. I'm gonna forget that there, but she talked about the fact that Joe, by the way, cut most of the background shit out. Thank you. She talked about the fact that because she lives here, her skin's always dry and like she's got to moisturize a lot. But when she goes to the Philippines, when it's super humid, like she feels great. Like her body, like her skin doesn't flake.
Is she Filipino?
Yes.
Well, it makes sense.
That's
no,
right.
she's not.
No,
she
it
just
doesn't.
goes to the Philippines and feels amazing.
So
That's why I go to the Philippines.
Anyways. So I feel, but the thing is, I didn't think about it until a couple days ago when I was listening. I was like, well, I feel kind of the same way. And I wanted to ask you guys about that. So I have a lot of like skin problems. Like my skin's always fucking dry. Like I flake a lot. I have to always watch my shoulders for like fucking dandruff and shit. Like I have medicated shampoo because of it, and it bugs the fuck out of me. Mm-hmm. But when I go to Peru, I don't even think about it, like at all. And I'm next to the ocean though, so like literally right next to the ocean. When like
So you should
I'm
move
over
to
there.
the coast.
I know, right? That's what I should do. But
California.
I wanted to ask you guys about that. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that maybe there is something that relates to that, or not at all? Or
Well, I have absolutely no desire to move to Czechoslovakia.
Oh.
So
yeah, but
It's because he's white.
Do
That's
you
what he
think
was
that
saying.
people were? I mean, maybe your body acclimates to the climate that you lived in before, and then once you are shifted to a different area, then it starts fucking you up.
I guess I could kind of see it, like if you're not used to the weather.
What do you think, Angelo?
So I think you can have environmental factors that you can get used to, but genetically, somebody of like just say African descent, right? Like African American people generally have better skin. They look a lot fucking younger later in life than most white people do, and that is because they have discovered lotion, right? So Bill Burr had a whole skit about this, but they use lotion constantly because if they don't and their skin gets dry, you can actually see it, right? So where if you're paler skin, you're not really able to see it. White people generally do not lotion all that much.
Yeah, I don't.
But if you like, it would make sense that if you're in the Philippines and you're constantly have this like light bead of like sweat all over your body because it's fucking hot as fuck there.
Well, at least my penis won't ever have to worry about cracking.
So
wait till you get married.
That's why you look.
You need to start drinking beer because that was another trash joke.
That's
I
why
thought it was pretty funny.
That's why you look 45 and your dick looks 19.
Exactly. Exactly.
Keeps that shit fresh.
Yeah, so I think it's just one of those things like, the darker your skin is, the more that your dry skin will show. and it's being ashy, right? Like white people get ashy, but you just can't see it as well. So it makes sense that if you're in the Philippines and you're constantly sweating, like, yeah, you're going to be a little more dehydrated, but you have a constant film, like, a sweat film on you to make your skin
to moisturize your skin.
Think of it like a leather jacket or a pair of leather shoes. If you don't ever apply the polish and the oils, it's going to start cracking, and it'll never be repairable eventually. But if you keep doing it, that leather will last forever.
Well, like
I didn't know that.
With me, when I get tan during the summer, I notice that like my skin gets really dry, and during the summer I put lotion on just because of how dry my skin gets. But like it gets bad to the point where like my hands will start cracking and shit. Like especially during the winter, my hands crack like a motherfucker. I have to put something on.
Well, yeah, because in the winter you're really not sweating, right? It's just cold air blasting against dry skin, which makes it even drier.
And then you go into the heat. Like the heated rooms. You're running your like
dry
heater all the time. Yeah, man.
My problem is I don't like the feel of lotion. Like I don't like how oily it is.
You can get the water-based lotion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't shop.
Lubriderm makes water-based lotion, and it's unscented, so it's pretty good.
Is that what you use to jerk off?
No. I use strawberry flavored oils.
What are you guys' thoughts on essential oils?
Yeah, because when I'm done, I don't have to wipe it away.
Yeah, man, and his dick feels great afterwards.
Yeah,
and it smells like strawberries.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's good for the wife.
It's good for the wife. Happy wife, happy life.
Right.
So.
Are you telling me
happy wife, more blowjobs?
Exactly, and she loves it because it tastes like strawberries.
He might have just stumbled upon something
and
that I might have to try. Like,
start beating off with some strawberry flavored lotion. You'll be happy.
I think the majority of men that are married can agree that the blowjob game is
lacking.
Oh
my God! Welcome to the Designated Drinkers podcast.
You literally said that at the beginning.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I introduce us?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd necessarily have to introduce.
We should.
Why?
After every episode. Hey, if you've been listening for a minute, you know who we are. But if you haven't been listening for a minute, my name is Carlo,
Angelo,
Tom,
and Nick.
And we are the Designated Drinkers. Thanks for joining us. I just wanted to introduce ourselves.
Nick's our special guest today.
Yeah, thanks.
Nick's gonna come around more often.
Special guest.
I have
Nick.
time.
He has the time now. So
well, maybe unless I work Saturdays.
Unless you cancel.
No, unless I work Saturdays.
I'm teasing you. Jesus.
So
I have to make fun of you. I'm sorry.
Can we finish our thought though?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So with the skin thing, like. Do you think that genetics so far removed has a determination on what your actual tolerance is for where you live?
I think that if you're more...
For our audience listeners, Tom just got up and got a beer.
Peer pressure.
Thank God.
I think that if you're more...
Hold on. Don't worry, everybody. Tom will be funny again in about 25 seconds.
He only has to hold one in his hand.
I don't even have to drink it.
Yeah,
Let's
that's right.
Fucking podcast going. Jesus
Tell me
Christ.
about it.
This is slow as shit.
No, actually, I think it's been pretty good for right now.
No, we need to get some porn talk.
Get close to the mic now.
Oh, we will in a little bit.
Sure.
So I think that if you're more purebred of a person, like if your nationality is like...
Is this about to be a racist talk? Because
No.
I feel like it's
the
about
moment
to be
you
a
said,
racist
by the way, when you said purebred, and nobody can see your quotes.
Oh, quote unquote purebred.
If you were from pure Aryan blood.
No, that's not what I meant. Like, if you're more like over 50% or 75% of one nationality, I would think that your body would be more required to be acclimated to that very particular temperate climate of that country.
So maybe let's take purebred out of that, and I could see where you're coming from.
Why is purebred a bad thing?
Well, I'm thinking
purebred because we're talking. Yeah, we're talking about like races here. People, we're just.
But what's wrong with that?
I just when you're saying purebred, you're
that can mean
signifying
pure British, pure Swahili, pure Chinese.
I was really hoping that he was just going to name all white cultures.
Yeah. No.
Pure Swedish, pure German.
This is interesting to me.
When you have Aryan blood running through you, there's nothing you have to worry about.
But this is
the only thing you have to worry about is Jewish people.
If you're pure Jewish,
you're funnier. Go on.
You're cheaper. But
no, Joe, please cut that out.
Why? Why?
Because
we're a fucking comedy podcast. Why do we do this every time?
Because okay, well, you know what? We're going to talk about this. I think we need to get to that point, and we're not going to cut that out.
Do you want it to be a PCC?
I don't think it needs to be. I don't think our podcast is PC. But
so here's the thing: what have we become?
Dude, if you listen to our old episodes, some of them are horrible, and you never said cut that out.
Well, and here's the thing: back then we only had 5. That was the days of the faithful 5. Now
that's right.
We have like
50 people that listen to us now. Yeah, he's not wrong. Between 50 and 70 people listen to us now.
The bigger you get, the more you have to be careful about what you say.
But I agree to a point. But nothing that was said so far, like even the fact that you were like, "Oh wait, purebred, cut that out." Like,
no, I didn't say purebred. I was arguing with him about the word purebred.
But you automatically took it into a racist context when it was just of being a pure nationality of.
That's what I mean.
My mother and my father all come from, like you being, I don't know, just all types of Peruvian. Like you are a purebred fucking Peruvian.
But think about it, because when you go to Peru, you're fine. But in Cleveland, you're not.
I think
if you take somebody who's like 100% Russian and then put them in Miami, they're going to have a hell of a time.
You know, I associate the word purebred with the word Aryan. So that's really where the line the line kind of fades for me. So that's the only reason I was like, purebred. Let's take purebred out.
Well, I made it as a joke.
I think that's funny.
I think so too.
I think that's funny. Like I don't look at I associate purebred with German shepherds.
I associate with dogs.
You know what I mean? So the fact that you're like, okay, it's
usually
versus mutts, which are a mixture of different types of dog.
I associate purebred with Hitler, so we should stop talking about this.
Hence the reason I did air quotes around purebred.
Yeah,
nobody can see your air quotes.
Wait, we have to have a GIF of Nick doing air quotes to put up on the podcast.
Right, page. Yeah, totally. Well, no, yeah, that's right. Nobody can see your air quotes. You did air quotes.
Quote, unquote, purebred.
But then I had to tell you.
Tell me a better word for it, and I'll say it.
No, yeah. I just think it's funny, like, the bigger that we're getting, the more censored that we're becoming.
Okay, I will make a promise on the show right now that I will try not to impose too much when it comes to it. But if I feel like it might be a detriment, not to me, because I don't give a fuck, but to you or to you in the future, I will ask you, like, after the podcast, hey, you said this thing, is that okay? Do you still want to keep that on the podcast? Then that way that I don't run into any, like, hey, cut that out.
Well, that's fair.
Well, I don't feel like any of us...
I feel like we've gotten pretty good about not saying stuff on the podcast that we don't want on the podcast.
Do you guys remember when Darian said that... if he was the guy that scalped his girlfriend, he'd do it.
Yeah. Do you remember?
He's like, yeah, she cheated on him. She deserved it. And we're like, you shut the
scalped?
fuck up. Yeah, you were there.
Was I there?
Yes, you were.
Do you remember the time when?
I remember.
Dude. Do you remember the time when Darian said that he was okay with his homosexuality?
Yes.
And we were like, yeah, you are. you little slut.
So yeah, I think that's a very good point to make, that like our podcast is of the comedy genre.
If
we are going to say shit that is offensive and funny.
If you're listening to this, don't expect it to be PC.
Yeah, no, and I think what a lot of people need to also understand is the fact that I don't think everybody here. I am very Hispanic. I don't know if you guys know this already, listeners.
I thought you were Italian.
Yeah, I mean same thing, right?
I'm a white Hispanic.
Hey, can you hand me that?
But anyways, so
I'm sorry. I just wanted to build that wall real quick.
So for our audience listeners, Tom grabbed a cemetery thing and put it in front of him.
A Halloween decoration.
Yeah, Halloween decoration and put it in front of him.
He built a wall between him and Carlo.
Right. Where the fuck was I going with this? Later. God damn it! I don't even know where the fuck
we. You are extremely Hispanic.
Oh, I am, and I know these guys and I love these guys for a reason, right? Because we're very unfiltered around each other, and I don't think any of them are in any way racist. So I'm just gonna put that there. Though they might say some stupid shit for the lulz.
That's where you're wrong.
That is probably where it ends.
I just hate Polish people.
I'm not racist, but those Polacks, my God.
Right.
It takes like 8 of those people to screw in a light bulb.
So here's the thing.
Who
and here's
thinks
the
to
other
put
thing.
fucking pierogies together? Come on.
Hey, you shut your mouth. Pierogies
Pierogies are the
delicious.
only greatest thing that the Polish have ever created.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Here's the other thing. It's like
Just
you,
kidding. I
You
like
can't tell
pierogies.
me that like nothing that has been said thus far on the podcast, if we actually mattered or got into the right circles. If you get some stuff like some social
Can you
justice
not
warrior
burp into the
type
mic?
dude
Sorry.
that
Good Lord.
listen to that, we would all be ruined.
Oh,
We would all be ruined.
I don't disagree with you on that.
They would find all of our names, where we live, all that. We'd have protests on our lawn.
What about the stuff
And-
that we say when we're not on the podcast?
No, I'm saying the stuff that we say on the podcast.
Even I think even then, yeah, I think we'd get
Even
a lot
dude,
of
even just
flack.
you fucking about even just you saying tranny.
Yeah.
You would have some
I'm offended.
non-gay LGBTQILMNOP guy coming and being like, you offended me. And even though he's not gay or anything, he's not even part of the community. He's just offended for the community.
I'd be like,
Right.
"Come
Like,
on over."
he'd put you on blast on
Hey,
social media.
Just in case we have any Polish listeners, I am 25% Polish.
Oh,
That's why he hates them.
Just so you
Yeah.
say that, I was, you guys, some of you guys are on Reddit, right?
Yeah,
So-
I don't really go on.
Hell
it too
yeah.
much.
I love Reddit. I fucking love Reddit. So there's a Reddit page, a thread called Shower Thoughts, and they're really funny. And they're like supposed to be like some existential thing that you find out, like when you're sitting in the shower, like
I stand in my shower.
I was gonna say
No,
who
I-
shits in who shits in the shower?
Taco.
Who sits
I-
in the shower?
I sit in the shower when I'm crying. Duh. Anyways, so
Sad showers.
yes, I those are the only
So
showers
many
I
sad
take.
showers.
But you think of existential things, and I legitimately I was taking a shower, and I don't know where my mind was going, but then I thought to the fact that millennial is the new word for hippie.
I think millennial's a new term for idiot.
No, I think it's the new word for hippie. You just said it's a new word for idiot. What did we associate with people that thought differently and people that were a little like over the edge, liberally, that were over the edge that you didn't understand back in like 10, 20 years ago?
see,
Millennials.
Hippies.
I see, but to me, when the outside third-party objective society looks at millennials and they think of hippies, I feel like it's the white millennials, quote unquote.
Yes. Okay. What do you mean?
You had the goddamn air quotes.
I know, right? He did the quotes and then didn't say anything for like a whole second. But go ahead.
Well, just don't mean to be racist, but
Okay, go on.
white millennials are very plastic
Plastic. Okay.
and girly.
Girly.
Yeah.
So would you say that they wouldn't fight in Nam?
Oh God, no. They would be too busy texting to even get to the draft line.
Oh yeah.
Describing a
I-
hippie right
Yeah, you are. That's what I'm talking about.
I know, but it's the white quote unquote millennials.
I think the word and term millennial
Every
has
other
become
I've-
the new word for hippie. The millennials don't want to do this. The millennials ruined our businesses. The millennials are not brand friendly, and
millennials don't know how to work.
hippies don't know how to work.
Hippies
You just-
refuse to work.
Nick, technically you're a millennial.
I know.
Technically,
sad.
I'm a millennial.
I'm the oldest millennial. you'll
Technically,
ever meet.
actually, I think Angelo's a millennial.
Angel's a millennial too.
not
I
in actual chronological terms. I mean,
I saw
Yeah.
You know.
Eliza Schlesinger, something like that, had a
What'd you say about my mama?
she had a comedy stand up, and it was on board a
Yeah.
Navy ship, and she called herself an elder millennial, and I was like, yes, I understand this. Mm-hmm. And that stand up was actually really fucking
I need
funny.
to see it.
It was really funny, and it like because me and that chick are the same age. We're both 35, so I was like, yes, this is how I see things. I like this. And it was just funny the way she was describing it. She's like, all right, there's a difference between millennials. She goes, I'm a millennial, and that person's a millennial. She goes, that person never dealt with dial-up, okay? Like, that person doesn't remember the days before the internet. I do.
So do I.
do you remember VCRs?
How do you remember days before the internet?
Because
do.
my parents didn't get internet in our house until I was in like the 8th grade.
But it was there. The internet was a thing
Yeah, but I never used it.
while you were alive.
You're old.
He's saying he remembers days before there was an internet.
Before the internet was actually a thing
what
that
year
was
was the internet
commercially
invented?
available. It was like
80.
88 or something like that.
Well, actually,
can
technically,
remember
I think
that
the
year.
internet was
That's what he's
created in
saying.
like the 60s, but it was
Well,
only
no.
for military.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Commercial.
Well,
Commercially available.
even if it was invented in the 60s, Angela would still remember it. So,
Wow.
just saying.
He's not that old.
Yeah, he is.
They like to make me feel a lot older.
He's
than
Joe
I really
Pesci,
am.
bro. He's like 75.
Oh, speaking of Joe Pesci. Hey,
So-
did you find my blue hat here?
Yes.
All right,
it's
cool.
Somewhere here.
The-
Ashley's like, whose fucking hat is this? And I was
That's
like,
Pesci.
The
that's
motherfucking
Angela's.
Pesh.
Okay, so the internet, technically, ARPANET was adopted on January 1st, 1983, but it was more recognizable in 1990. So if you were born before 1990, even if you were born like 89, you really wouldn't remember an age before the internet.
Yeah.
Actually, millennials started in 1982,
Yeah, and I'm 83.
so
Right.
Yeah, you are.
he would remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you
So-
meant that was the year you were born.
So I just I think that the word has become so diluted.
Millennial?
Yes.
Because there's so
No.
many of them.
Yeah, but the thing is,
It's such a massive.
I think that it's become an
generation.
excuse.
I-
That's
yes,
what I think that it
and
has
I
become.
think
I-
it also has become. That's why I'm saying I'm using the word hippie so that you guys can relate. So if
I
you-
agree with Carlo.
If you think
yeah,
back,
I wasn't disagreeing.
No, I'm just saying if you think back to like even think of that '70s show, right? Mm-hmm. Like Red, when he would talk about like
Goddamn hippies.
goddamn hippies don't
well,
want
he
to
used
do
to say
work.
commies.
Yeah,
He used to say commies.
yeah.
'cause-
Well, I think he said hippies too, right?
I don't think so.
I don't
think
remember.
he was always about the commies.
But when
Archie
the
Bunker
people
was more
before
about the hippies.
were talking about the hippies, they were saying these exact same things that you're hearing everybody in the fucking news talk about.
You know, based on that, I actually had like one of those shower revelations myself.
A shower thought.
Shower thought.
Yeah.
The other day, and I actually got out of the shower and I told my wife about it because it was so profound in my own opinion. Let me try to remember what the hell I was talking about.
Your shower thought.
Yes, I know that, but what it was.
so have I.
Oh,
Wasn't very profound, was it?
Drinking beer in the shower is pretty great.
I remember what it
Oh,
was.
shower beers are amazing.
Carla, would you mind?
Oh yeah, bro.
Thanks, bud. Okay, so I've always considered myself on the more conservative side of things.
Yeah, we know.
That's fine.
Make sure you're talking to the mic.
I am. But I had this weird thought, and I realized that I started, like, because I love history, and I started going through my mind of, like, all the major events of history and everything. And when you really look at the grand scheme of things, when you listen to Bob Dylan's words, the times are a-changin', that's applicable to every single generation. And I realized that
How so?
the times are
Never
always
heard that
changing.
song.
You should listen to it.
I think the words of the song will pretty much let you know it's a pretty blanket statement. Times are changing.
Right. But when you think about it, like, because I said that I was always conservative, I was like, I don't want any of this, these new weird
Hippie crap.
policies and all this shit that people are trying to, like, throw at me and everything. And I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I sound just like all of the old people that
Right.
didn't want to handle the change of the times.
Yes.
And if you just get on board and accept that things will change whether you like it or not, and just learn how to adapt to things,
Yes.
I feel like life will be so much easier.
I agree with you.
You fucking liberal.
So, but you,
See?
so
See, there it is. There it is.
yeah. So you say that, and it made me think that I am looking at things a little differently now that I'm getting older. Yesterday, for example, at jujitsu, I was talking to Hoy's kid, and she talked about. I was like, "Hey, so what books are you reading now?" Like, I was asking her specifically, "What books are they making you read in class?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What am I talking about? Like, what's the book that you got to read now?" Because I was just having a conversation with the kid, and she's like, "I don't know what you mean." And I'm like, "So for me, like 7th grade, 6th grade, like the one book that everybody had to read was The Outsiders."
That's a good book.
I know, it's a great book. And she's like, "Oh." Well, I was like, "Yeah, you read it in front of class, and like everybody talks about the book and breaks it down." And she's like, "Yeah, never done that." I'm like, "What? What do you mean?"
She goes to a parochial school.
I did too. Yeah, man, I did too.
We found out last night that I was the only person in that room that didn't go to fucking Catholic school.
I didn't
Wait,
go to Catholic school.
You guys were allowed to read anything other than the Bible?
Yes.
the Bible.
So, but like I said, I was like, what are you talking about? How are you not reading like a central book that everyone has to read? And
To
she's
Kill a Mockingbird.
or like,
Mice
yeah,
of Men.
well, those I read in high
Animal
school, but like
Farm.
The Outsider, Animal Farm, The Pig Man was one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, like we all read these books, we broke them down, critically thought about the things that happened, and then we talked about amongst them in class. And she's like, yeah, we don't do that. I was like, whoa, that's fucking weird. I was like, that's ridiculous, and like I was like, that's insane. She's like, what we do is we get to pick our own books, and then we do like a testing with points. And we do like essays and stuff like that for them. I was like, oh,
Well, that's fine.
That's because
Yeah,
that's all
but-
that schools are points anymore. It doesn't matter about if you're actually getting a good goddamn education.
well, no. But the thing about it is,
Yep.
at first when I was thinking about it, I was like, that's stupid. You're not critically thinking as a mass, and talking about your like different beliefs and your books. And yes, that is a point. But also, they're getting technically everybody reads at their own pace. Everybody reads at different levels.
And not everybody can comprehend the same books.
Right. So what they're doing is you get to pick from a list of books, and then we're going to test you on it. You're going to still write a paper, and you get to kind of talk about it. So they're teaching them a different way. Just like, what the fuck is that new method that they do math?
The stupid method?
No, the,
Not math.
what's it called? Common Core.
Common
Yeah.
Core.
Oh.
Everybody's fighting Common Core, but it's just a different way to teach. It might be a more difficult way to teach. Maybe it's a bad way to teach. I'm not saying that it's a good way, but what I'm saying is that maybe they're doing it for a reason.
Maybe they're starting to figure out that not everybody can keep up.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, with me, my main thing when we were
I
in
was
school,
also never agreed with No Child Left Behind, though. So
Oh no, it's bullshit.
when we were
It's a messed up system.
when we were in school, the thing that I didn't agree with is the fact that whole time that you're in school, they just prepare you for those tests. They don't prepare you for when you get out into the world.
yeah.
And I think that's bullshit because when you get out, you have no idea what the
But
fuck
you have
you're
to think
doing.
about the fact that times are changing. Like Nick was saying, we talked to somebody that was a teacher, remember? He said that what they do, because they realized it, is the fact that they know that most of these kids are going to drop out of high school. So what they want to do is they introduce them to trades throughout their entire middle school, and so that they know what to do when they drop out, because they know that they're going to drop out, so that they're introducing to different things that they could do still. Plumbing, woodworking,
Do you know what's funny about that?
CAD, what?
even now with the trades, they want a high school diploma. It's just like with me. 90% of these jobs you apply for,
I mean,
you
you
need a
really
high school
shouldn't
diploma.
drop out of high school anyways,
But
but still.
what I'm saying is, when you're in school, what they're training you for are their standardized tests. They're not training you for getting out in the world.
What's up?
I was gonna say what's funny about that is that they used to teach trades in high school.
They're not
all
pushing
the
them
way
as
up
often.
until the 2000s.
Yeah, they're not
Then they
pu-
dropped all those programs.
They're not pushing them as much.
And they started making it strictly college prep.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, like even right before we went into high school, those high schools still had wood shop and mechanic classes.
It's funny
and
that
all
you say
stuff
that
in there.
college is high school prep. I mean, high school is college prep.
That's what they called it.
But I didn't even feel ready for college when I got out of high
No,
school.
not at all.
Not even close, dude. I technically flunked my first year and a half of college, which I had to make up the next year and a half and just to not like get kicked out of school.
I took financial accounting my freshman year. I didn't know what the fuck I was
Dude,
doing.
I took contemporary mathematics 4 times before I passed that class.
Yeah, and they taught you like micro computer applications.
Oh no, I like that class.
I took
I
porn
didn't
positions.
understand it.
I do IT, bro. But see, but that's the thing is, I think that we need to start looking. I know you guys are gonna hate this, but we kind of need to start looking at the individuals. Then
Well, some people are just not cut out for certain
but
types of education.
Society.
I don't disagree. I didn't disagree, and we don't do them anymore with those aptitude tests. Mm-hmm. Like, oh hey, let's take these tests to see what maybe you might be better at doing, like IT or woodworking or plumbing and shit like that. And then they kind of craft your
Angela's
way of
about to
learning.
explode
Yeah,
over there.
they craft your way of learning towards these things. You want to
See
say
that
something?
little fucking vein in the top of your head?
What, Angela? What?
So, for fuck's sake. All right. So there there are some points that you are making that are valid, but what
I said individual, and it triggered him.
what essentially you are talking about is fucking slowing the bus down. So
Right.
instead of here's
not
here's
real
one
world.
thing, right? So
Real world.
when I went to school, we did have standardized tests. We did the CATS, California Achievement Test. Okay. that had no bearing on whether you graduated or anything like that.
Yeah,
like,
we had to do them in
flunk
high school
those
too.
fucking things all you want, but you still got the same education. You still got to graduate and all that stuff, and you still learned whatever, right? It was a good assessment of, okay, this person is lacking in X, Y, and Z department. They need extra help in this and that. So I understand individualizing it in that aspect. But there are certain basic things that people should come out of each grade level with. Or let's just say each,
basic knowledge.
School level with. So at elementary, middle, and high school. You should come out with certain things, right? So if you're going to look at the individual, well, just because, Dave over here is a fucking moron and he doesn't pay attention and all that shit. So you're going to lower his standard. So everybody else has to be at an 85. He has to be at a 62. No, you're teaching Dave that underachieving is just fine.
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking to see what Dave excels at so that we can put him in more classes to do that.
Okay, so if
Dave excels at working on cars, so make him a mechanic.
The problem is that
but if he's good at working on cars and he's good with his hands, are you telling me that Dave should not take Physics 101?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying put him in more classes that work with what he's good at. I'm not saying drop him out of all the classes that, like, all the STEM courses, but I'm saying that he should technically get more classes that he's good at.
I agree with he should have more.
I think that it would be a more productive way in society because then you'd have a lot less people not getting into trades and stuff.
At least there would be people that are doing something that they know that they're good at. Instead of like blowing
I found a
smoke up
great
everybody's
Ask Reddit
asses
question
saying,
that we're gonna
you're
get to in a
going to
second.
be great at life.
Well,
and then send them into a law firm, and all of a sudden they don't even know how to scrub a toilet.
When I went to high school, the trade programs, like I went to a vocational. I did half my senior year or junior year, something like that. I did half a day regular high school, half day at my vocational.
Did you take carpentry with Jesus?
No, I did.
Carpentry with Jesus? What the fuck is that?
He was a carpenter.
I did general.
Right,
I did general construction. So we did electric, plumbing, carpentry.
Yeah,
all that.
I did construction trades.
We built a whole house, a little mini house.
Yeah,
all
that's
that.
what we did.
What I'm saying though is, like, I do IT. I love computers. I've always loved computers, but nobody ever said, "Oh, hey, Carlo, you're actually kind of good at computers. Why don't we throw you in an extra IT class?" Or like there were those courses were available to me in high school. I just did not know about them until after I graduated.
Well, that's what the guidance counselors are
Garbage
for.
Garbage.
I would say that,
But they don't do that. They don't do shit.
That seems to be a failure of your particular.
Well, we went to Parma, bro.
Well,
right.
I
but still.
went to 2 different high schools, and neither of them had good guidance counselors. Those people don't give a shit.
My guidance counselors at my high school were actually very good. They're the ones that got me into the trade program because they knew I was a fucking D student.
Frittata.
They're like, yeah, you're probably not going to go to college, which I wound up going to college and all that. So they weren't exactly right, but I didn't go until I was fucking 30. You know what I mean? Like, it took some maturity that I wasn't at that time. So, and when I talked about joining the military, they were like, that's probably a really fucking good idea for you.
Well, you know what the thing that I love? Have you ever seen that video of the dude sitting in his car and he's like fake crying and he's like, I remember when I was in high school, my teachers told me I wouldn't amount to anything. I'd just be a no good construction worker, blah, blah, blah. And then like he pulls out this wad of cash and he starts like wiping his eyes with it, and he's like, "They were right. I'm just a no good construction worker who makes double your fucking pay, you assholes."
Dude,
that's awesome.
That's no shit. Like, and that's one thing that I think is actually excellent because there is there are not as many people going into the trades now. Like, look, everybody and their mother that comes out of fucking college nowadays has a fucking basically a 4-year business degree, right? It doesn't amount to a fucking thing. It is useless as fuck.
Because everybody has one.
Exactly. But you know what? The guy, like I said, my I'll call him my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is a fucking electrician. That motherfucker makes so much goddamn money. It's not even funny. Like, it's just like he makes his regular pay and then he goes and does a fucking side job for like triple what he would normally get paid because it's after hours and all this other stuff. And it's like, these guys are making fucking bank. And you know what? I have never in my life ever needed a fucking guy with a business degree. You know how many times I've needed to call that guy and be like, dude, I have no clue what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm going to die if you don't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Electricians are fucking useful.
Yeah, and plumbers, and
exactly.
carpenters, and masons. All the trades are the most necessary jobs that man needs to function in everyday life.
Right.
Except the tinners. Nobody likes the tinners.
But it used to be, I think,
HVAC.
As we were...
You definitely need HVAC.
Hey,
nah.
Steve will come and stab you in the face.
You could get a boiler. It's the same thing.
Then you need a boiler fixer guy.
No, plumbers work on boilers.
So
not big ones.
But I think as you were talking about before, what the times are changing, right? If you looked at the majority of our parents, right? How many times did they have to call somebody to fix something in the house? Hardly ever.
Every once in a while.
Our parents knew how to fix that shit.
had to burn your fucking house down to call somebody.
Yeah, because
and that's why the trades went out for a long time.
I know. Like my dad, there were times where he was trying to fix something, and he'd sit there and like rip it apart, and then he'd start to put it back together, and he'd be like, "Where the fuck did that part go? God damn it, son of a bitch!" And then he's like, "You know what? We're just fucking calling somebody. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore." And it was like 2 days later, and our sink still wasn't working because he couldn't find a fucking part for it.
Yeah, but but back in the day, you used to be able to fix the majority of the shit of your house. If you needed to change a roof, you called your fucking roofer. But people could fix all the stuff in their house.
Now
motherfuckers can't fix anything, and we have this entire fucking database of knowledge available to us
at your fingertips.
YouTube.
But the thing.
Oh, I use it all the time.
So
some people just aren't capable
build stuff,
of it.
Fix stuff.
Oh no, for sure. I'm shitty at the trades. Like I can't. My eyes don't fucking work very well. I don't cut straight lines. If I want to build something, it's probably not going to come out very plumb.
It's kind of like with me and Carlo. So Carlo does IT. I do plumbing. If I have a computer issue, I go to Carlo because I have no fucking idea what I'm doing with it.
But IT can be. I would classify IT as a trade.
When he has
the new trade,
it's becoming one.
When he has some kind of issue, even if it's not plumbing at his house,
I call him.
They call me
all the time. All the fucking time. Tom, can you help me put up the shelf?
Like I call the maintenance man at my apartment complex.
The one day I came over here. What did I come over here when I unclogged your
we were hanging
tub
out
in your sink?
We were just hanging out.
Yeah, I just stopped over and he's like, he walks in the bathroom. He's like, "What the fuck?" And Ashley clogged the tub upstairs, and he's like, "God damn it!" And I'm like, "Oh, dude, that's simple. I popped it off, cleared the clog, and then he's like, "Do you know anything about why my sink's draining slow too?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is all you gotta do." Like.
Well, and I think that's something that you acquired, by doing it.
Well, and then I looked at it and I'm like, that will be about $400.
And that's what
because that's what his company. He's like, that's what my company would charge you for that. I'm like,
declog
get the
a sink?
fuck out of here.
What I sink and a tub, you're looking at about $350, $400.
That's crazy.
Well, like whenever
I know how to make a coat hanger into a hook.
And then what do you do when you get it stuck in the drain? You call the plumber.
Then you call a plumber.
If it's this long, it's not going to go that far.
So
depends on how far down the.
Don't worry. When you get it stuck down the drain, call me. I'll come get it out, but it's going to cost you about $400.
If the clog is longer than a coat hanger, I'll go buy a snake.
Get closer.
The thing is though, like I always tell Carlo, like whenever he's like, "Oh, this is blah 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 blah," I'm like, "Well, have you tried to fix it?"
Oh yeah, he does say that shit to me all the time,
is the
man.
thing. As a homeowner, if you call somebody every single fucking time, you're gonna blow a lot of money.
Yes.
A lot of times you can pull up a fucking YouTube video and get an idea. Try and fix it yourself. If you fuck it up, call somebody.
Definitely, as a homeowner, you should always try to fix it yourself.
If you don't try and do it yourself, you're never going to learn. And this is stuff like,
I'm fixing an Xbox controller that way.
Changing.
I'm not kidding.
The first hot water tank that I put in by myself. The first hot water tank that I put in by myself, I looked up on YouTube because like I knew the basics of it, but I'm like, I really don't want to fuck this up.
That is 90% of my job. At least when I first started,
90% of every job now.
yeah, when I first started at my job, it was very much, oh hey, this is happening, and I'm like, oh okay, give me a minute, and then I would pull up my phone, I would look it up, hey, this is happening on this person's computer, and it would be like a forum, and I'd be like, oh, this is super easy, and I would fix it real quick, and that was 90% of what I did for like the first like 6 months of my job, and even now I do that.
Do you know how fast I can install a hot water tank now? And I've only been doing it for 2 weeks by myself.
2 hours.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Roughly about an hour and a half.
Well,
that's
because
close.
it's one of those things. Like once you do it, you get okay. Oh, this is what happens, and then you also get to.
It also depends on what kind of tank it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You also get to plan for contingencies.
If-
like okay,
If it doesn't want to drain, that's a whole different ballgame. That's
I
gonna
may-
be a couple hours.
I may need this, but I'm also gonna bring this because this is something that I've seen before. You know what I mean? It's the same as medical.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can walk into a room your first day and look at a common cold, and we used to tell the new guys this all the time. If it fucking walks like a duck, talks like a duck, and has feathers, it's a fucking duck. It's not a goddamn it's not a goddamn goat. Don't go looking for this thing. But
Can you fuck
learn
like
that.
a duck?
You know what I mean? So
Can you fuck? Can you fuck like? Have you seen that?
what?
Dude, it's like a best
oh my
video
god!
ever.
I'll show you guys after the podcast.
This
I think
dude-
I've seen
So
it.
we're getting to that time of the podcast where we're gonna get to the Reddit question.
Wait.
I have 2 Reddit questions. But you
hold
finish,
on.
Finish your thought. Finish your thought.
It's this dude in a American flag Speedo, and he's singing.
Oh yes.
And he's like shaking his dick, and
I
people
have
are
seen
coming
that.
up and talking,
and then
touching
some
it
people
and
are
shit.
coming up and fucking rubbing his dick. 'Cause
Dude,
like,
it's
yeah,
literally
it's so
the
weird.
Hold on.
Can you
So
fuck?
I know you are trying to keep it at an hour, but we haven't even gotten to our
well-
actual topic of the day.
Well, I mean, if you guys are cool with it, I want to record more than 2 episodes today.
Okay.
Are you cool with that? I know you're starting a new job tomorrow, but it's
Yeah,
you
what
work at
time do you
12.
start?
I started at noon, but I gotta get up.
Oh,
Well,
get the fuck
hang
out.
on, hang
Get the
on.
fuck
I gotta
outta
go
here.
buy pants.
Okay,
Here.
there's a Walmart,
Walmart
right
is
over
open
here.
24/7.
I know. I'm not going to Walmart tonight.
Why not?
'Cause I don't want to.
That's what I do.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
Well, the
There's one right
that
here, man.
Walmart.
I'll go to Walmart with you.
That Walmart? Is that Walmart below you, Mister? I almost
it's
said
just-
where you live.
He's the bougie Walmart guy.
Right.
Think about the time of day that I have to go into that Walmart. You know the kinds of people that go into
Dude,
that
we
Walmart.
go in that
No, yeah, dude, I
Walmart
go to
late at
Walmart
night
all
all
the
the time.
But
There's
you
nobody
do
at
it to
that
laugh
Walmart.
at the people.
Listen,
No, we don't.
Hey,
No,
listen,
I mean, I kind of do.
Well, sometimes it depends.
The later that you go, the better the scene.
Do you remember the duck lady?
Which one?
It was on Black Friday,
I don't remember.
I think
the
up
duck lady.
there.
I think the theme of this podcast is duck.
where she looked like a duck and she was walking and her head was going like
Oh,
this.
You know, I have had some pretty great encounters. I remember when I was at Walmart a while back, this lady had a gigantic forehead. And she wasn't a lady. She was like maybe like a 20-year-old. She had a gigantic forehead.
I thought you were about to say she was a dude. She wasn't a lady.
So she was walking, and like I kept looking at her forehead, and she looked at me. She's like, "What the hell are you looking at?" And I'm like, "Your big ass forehead." That's what I said. And she
Just
like,
like that drive-in theater screen you got on your neck, lady.
she looked astounded at me. She's like, and I walked away.
Good job.
Yeah,
You were honest, and she didn't know what to do with that.
right. It was amazing.
She expected to have the upper
Yes,
hand.
but I do want to record more than 2 because we ran dry this week.
Real
we didn't
quick,
put one up.
What I do want to say is I love the fact that we're those people that we're okay with just saying whatever the fuck is on our head. Like if you ask us a question, you're gonna get the direct answer.
Oh, yeah,
it
totally.
doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
What are you
Completely.
looking at? Your big ass fucking forehead. Like,
But so I have 2 questions for Reddit, and then
Cover
on
that
the
shit
next
up.
episode it'll be the first thing we talk about, the main topic. All right. All right.
I'm just sitting there thinking like, fuck you looking at all that available real estate to buy on your fucking forehead. It's like about to fucking flip
So-
a house on your
So
forehead.
the
Air
first
Force One's about to land.
the first Ask Reddit question comes from the person named Trench Rat,
Trench rat.
and their question is, "What's going well in your life right now?"
Who's going first?
I can go first. I just got married, and
wrong answer.
fuck you. I got married. My job's doing freaking pretty baller right now. I passed the first half of my A+, and I'm studying for the second half. Yeah, but that's about it. And I'm getting back into jiu-jitsu real hard. And I got beat up real hard yesterday too. And I wanna beat people up now. So it's giving me motivation. How about you guys? Who's going next?
What's going well in my life?
Yeah.
Fucking same old, man.
Yeah, he's reached that age.
Got a good family, good job. I don't really fucking want for anything. You know, obviously, like there's stuff that I would love, to fucking like splurge on and all that, but
Whores.
like exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Whores are always great, but like I don't generally ever like in my life go, oh god, I can't afford this thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like most stuff that I would want, and albeit I'm a very very simple man.
We know.
I can.
You're like Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. I could just.
You never go full retard.
I don't.
Too late.
I don't really have a fucking like a worry, and I love that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's something that's like,
Yeah.
like I don't have to worry where my next meal's coming from, how I'm going to get this bill paid. Like I'm just like,
You got
I'm
your
in a
shit
very
situated.
fucking cool spot right now. Like
Yeah,
I
man.
almost feel
Tuesdays
like I'm
and
adulting.
Thursdays we play Ghost Recon. It's
Yeah.
fucking baller.
Fridays I beat his ass in Madden.
How
That's
about
pretty
you,
baller.
Nick?
I don't know. I like my family.
I like them. All right.
I like my car.
That's the most depressive thing ever. Oh no.
So I think the whole point of the thread is to
You got a new job.
though there may be
know.
bad things happening in your life, or there might not be. I'm not saying you specifically. There might be some bad things and things you cannot handle, or things that are outside of your control. There are also good things that are probably happening in your life, and you maybe want to focus on that. That's I think that's the biggest thing on the question. So what do you think, man? Any thoughts? Your
I
family,
created a
your
really
car?
kick-ass chili recipe this week.
Oh, there you go. That's fucking awesome.
It was good-ass chili.
You sound like a goddamn
that
hippie,
along,
is what
brother.
you? Yeah, dude. I love fucking chili.
Yeah, pass that along.
I fixed my wife's laptop.
Oh, why didn't you tell me? I could fix it.
Well, I
$80.
literally fixed it. It was like cracking open.
$80.
80. Well, I just put in a couple of screws.
Oh, $80. I told you how to fix it. You know, yeah. You know I
No,
did.
you didn't.
Are you sure?
I was bored and I was like, hey, I have 2 broken laptops in my closet. I'll just use those screws.
That's not a bad idea.
And I
Put
did.
2 screws right through the motherboard. Done.
I almost did. I used a screw that was too long and I started pushing the keyboard up. I was like, no, wrong screw. I pulled it out.
But you know what? Once
Honey,
again,
it's fixed.
You
It's not
tried
working.
it before you call somebody.
So I wanted
Exactly.
to before you go, Tom. So that is unfortunately what's becoming an issue nowadays. Tech companies are what are now becoming called throwaway item companies.
Everything is disposable.
So yes, so they want you. So what they're fucking. There's a great program out there right now. I think it's called like Fix It Yourself or something like that. So it's a group of guys that are fighting back against companies that do this, like Apple, any cell phone company,
LG,
all
Motorola.
of these motherfuckers. What
It's
they,
just
you know,
like how
they
you can't
what they
replace
do.
the battery in your
Yes,
phone.
you can't replace
That's
the batteries
bullshit.
on your. That is bullshit. yes.
Fucking bullshit.
You can't replace it. You can't replace the screens. You void the warranty now. Well, actually, recently I think they backtrack. They're not allowed to void the warranty if you open the appliance anymore. But it voids the warranty when you do shit like that. And
You
it's,
still gotta pay a shitload to get it fixed, though.
Yes, but they go so far as to block you from even being able to hire somebody to do your own work for you when it comes to that, because they want the money. They super glue their screws to the boards so that you won't be able to take them out.
And if you try, they'll shatter it.
Yeah. So they have specialized machines that do that for them. So they heat up the glue and then they like fucking pull them out and shit like that. But
Horseshit.
it's horseshit, yes. But the companies are doing
$1,000
that nowadays.
phones, and if the battery goes, I gotta go spend another $1,000.
I,
Yeah, $50 to get a new battery.
I have a for instance in the home appliance section as well. I went out to a hot water tank that was installed about 6 years ago, and all it needed was a thermocoupler. And
Flux capacitor, right?
yeah, we
so-
all know what that is.
So the thermocoupler is part that keeps your hot water tank heating up.
Yeah, man. I knew that.
So I went to go take it out and replace it, and you can't replace it. You have to buy the whole pilot assembly.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
That's painful.
Yeah,
and
it's-
that's like $100 part compared to a $14 part.
Right.
That's
But so for the going back to the question, what is going good in your life, Tom?
Even though that I'm working a shit ton and I'm miserable, at least I'm making decent money.
And you got some
There you
sexy
go.
new glasses.
No, I've had these for like 2 years.
You got some sexy glasses.
I've had these
You
for like
look
2 years.
sexy.
They're not new, but
At
they're
least I
sexy.
can't see your receding hairline anymore. There you go. That's a good
Thanks,
one.
bud.
So is that it? Or
So that, and then I guess the interview that I have coming up. So yeah.
okay, and then the next question comes from
And my girlfriend.
Peachy Fizz 97.
In
That's
case
what.
she
get
listens.
married.
In case she listens, and my girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that too. And it asks, what did you have in 1999 but not in 2018?
AIDS.
That's gay.
What?
See what I
Magic
did there?
Johnson.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's not a thing, by the way.
What? That he injects money into his bloodstream to keep
And
the
no,
No,
AIDS
that
away?
he
Correct.
he actually bought the cure for AIDS.
Angelo,
yeah,
Angelo, what's your
right.
answer here?
No.
You know, Joe, I've been messing with you about cutting some of the dead air out of the podcast. Don't cut the dead out of that one. Don't cut the dead air out of that one. That was fucking perfect.
Yeah,
you should
no,
for our
I-
audience listeners. You should have seen this fucking face.
That was really good. Like, that was like, yeah, no, my hair actually did start receding about 1999.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did have a lot more than I do now. So
Tamagotchi. That's for me. I had a Tamagotchi in 1999 and a lot of Pokemon toys.
You still do.
well, you were 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your excuse
So-
now?
Pokemon came out in the 90s. 91,
It was like
92?
93.
93? Yeah, maybe.
I know. I was
Somewhere around
there.
that.
But yet you still call it Pokemon. You were literally around in the era of it, and you were just like, yeah, my
Well,
daughter's
I mean-
talking about this thing called Pokemon.
Hey, who's your favorite Paw Patrol character?
The
You're
one
in
dog.
the era of the fucking Paw Patrols.
one dog.
How do
We
you
watch-
not know who the fucking characters
how
are,
old,
bitch?
How old
We
were
watch
you when?
Octonauts.
How old were you when Pokemon came out?
What did you say? It was 93.
Around that, yeah.
I'd have been 10. I don't remember. I literally, when I was 10, though, I don't remember anybody. The first person I remember talking about Pokemon was actually Steve's little brother, Danny. That was on the podcast.
Yeah.
His little brother, Danny, was obsessed with Pokemon, and that's when we were in high school. So this was,
Okay.
Yeah.
98,
I can see that.
99.
Yeah, you would have no desire for it.
I don't, and the reason I say Pokemon is because to me that's cultural appropriation. They're trying to make these little fake animals into Jamaicans, and that's not right. The Jamaicans should have their
Pokemon.
own thing.
Pokemon.
Hey, Pokemon. Bomba Clat Rasta.
Jamaica good music today?
Yeah, yeah. There's no fucking Charizard and goddamn Kingston.
Hey, you better
okay?
put on a towel, man, or I'm a Pikachu.
You better start running or I'm a Voltorb out of here. That's another Pokemon.
Bomba Clat. Bulbasaur.
Oh, don't kick me down there. Not my Bulbasaur.
Oh, don't kick me in my Jigglypuff.
I'm gonna
Wow, we just got real fucking bad.
I'm gonna smoke some weed and I'm gonna Snorlax.
What?
That's another Pokemon.
I know, but that was a stretch.
Snorlax.
I thought that was the guy from Coneheads. No, that was the Narfel the Garthok. Never mind. All right.
Nobody remembers Cohead. Shut up.
What the fuck? That was one of the greatest fucking movies ever.
I
Okay,
don't
Nick,
know what
what
you're
did you
talking
have in
about.
'99 that you don't have now?
I had this really cool Huffy bike.
Dude, I also remember in '99, my uncle Israel. To this day, I remember he bought me this fucking sweet robot, and had like I don't know.
The white one?
No, it was dark because we were in Peru. But anyways,
Racist.
so what would happen with this robot is the fact that you would it would like move and stuff like that, but it had it was under a base, and you would speak, and it would repeat your voice, but it would also move as you're talking his voice, and it looked really cool. And he was one of my Transformers then.
That's cooler than my Huffy bike.
Yeah, it was.
But really, this Huffy bike was cool.
Nick's like, I wish that I could trade my car for it.
No,
Nick.
stop. The way he just looked down and it was like Nick went back to his childhood and then came back and was instantly depressed.
Nick,
It was awesome. It was like a 5-speed.
Are you the straight man of the group?
It had a stick shift instead of just the dial. It was an actual stick shift.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That's
The
awesome.
Banana seat?
No,
No.
it was a regular seat.
I'm color with banana
In '99, so
So as you're thinking
I
about
would
it-
have been 7. I would probably have to say
Lots of dick.
Ew.
I'm just saying, we all go through
What
problems.
Are you a pedophile?
Whoa, I was fucking.
I mean, you're the one talking about people fucking kids. That's what you just said.
Yeah, I was 6 years old, man. I don't know what I was talking about then.
Oh, this got dark.
I think in '99 it would probably be a Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Oh, I had one of those.
I mean,
too.
I
yeah,
s-
dude. I
not
had
as
one
cool
of
as my
those.
Huffy.
I guess I kind of have
love
one,
my
but
Game
it's
Boy.
not like the original Game Boy.
You know, I remember because I was a Peruvian, right? So we get a lot of things imported from Japan and the U.S. and stuff like that. So I got a Game Boy, and I asked for Pokemon. That was the one thing I wanted for my Game Boy to play all the time. So my dad got me a Game Boy, and then he got me Pokemon. But you guys ever seen those cartridges? You probably didn't, but those cartridges that had 99 games in them?
Yes.
And it was like technically like 3 games, but they were all reskinned differently.
Well, it was just the different stages. Like,
Right,
each
essentially.
level was a different game.
Yes.
Fuck that shit.
So it was like a reskin of like the game. So that was he got me that because one of the games in that 99 was Pokemon, and it was just Pikachu jumping from block to block like Mario. I was like, Dad, this isn't Pokemon.
I feel like everything that you buy in Peru is just like counterfeit.
Not as much anymore, but
or
before when I was a kid,
bootleg.
yes. Yes,
That's
there
what
was
I was looking
Peru
for.
was very a lot of that before was very bootleg. Yes.
Isn't it still? Didn't you
Get closer.
Didn't you get like a bunch of movies and stuff like that?
No, I didn't. I do not have any illegal movies on me anymore. I don't know what you're talking about. Moving past.
moving past all the supposed piracy.
Yes, moving past all the supposed breaking the law. I don't do that.
You know, I pretended to be a pirate while I was riding my Huffy bike.
A butt pirate.
Once
Are you a
again.
pedophile?
Did you used to
again.
like sit up over the stick shift on the column?
No, it was like a T shape. It was impossible.
Okay, look.
You know what I missed in '99? My teeth, because I fell off that bike and I destroyed my face.
No, that bike got stolen.
I missed.
Still on the fucking bike.
Nick, are you depressed?
I
the
missed
bike.
I missed freshman year of high school too. Oh God.
Oh God, you
No.
old fuck.
Dude, here's the funny thing. It's like, all right, so you know in Thor Ragnarok where
Kevin.
Korg is talking about, he's like, wait, so it seems like he had an intimate relationship with his hammer, and losing it was analogous to losing a loved one. That's Nick's face right now.
Yes.
He's like,
Yeah, I can see
he's
that.
like distraught over the thought of losing this Huffy.
Well,
My childhood became incomplete.
and I think with that, I want to say thank you very much for joining the
And Nick-
Designated Drinkers podcast.
Hold on. After Nick lost his bike, he became the whitest white man in the world.
Then I started yelling at people, and they came on my lawn.
Right.
Then I told them,
People
wipe
coming
it up
on your
and
lawn.
leave.
Thank you for listening to the Designated Drinkers podcast. My name is Carlo.
Angelo.
Miss my Huffy.
Tom.
Nick.
We are the Designated Drinkers. Joe, you should make "Miss My Huffy" the new, the new like beginning part. Anyways, we're the Designated Drinkers.
Keep on drinking.
They want to twist and shout. Yeah, I've got 6 friends in the fridge to help me out. Oh.
This has been a Fat Lowell's Radio production. To hear more shows like this, go to soundcloud.com/Fat Lowell's Radio.